get loud. It's going on the side. Mom's car.
Team it up there.
So here we get to see like all of our crap.
No, that's not even all of it. What about
This
the
is
lights?
this is not even all of it. The lights would probably be another like 4 cases, and the floor remotes are just kind of a wide shot from as low as you can get on the court. Gives you a very interesting angle. You shoot up into a light. It's a pretty picture. Plus, it captures a lot of action. And we do something that no one else does. I mean, all these remotes that we set up are. It's a pretty expensive operation, but it certainly gives us perspective. We got one here, the rail camera, 4. We've got an overhead, so there's 4 on this end, and then floor, side, overhead, and 3-point camera on the other end. But it's a lot of work. This is a production. This is no longer just photography. This is coming into an arena and trying to almost imitate what television does, trying to get all the variety of angles, and to see at a particular moment one play that may either tell a story or will give us a perspective that the editors and the managing editor wants to see. They don't have any sidelining, so that really creates a problem with filling in areas, in the eyes. And it creates a very contrasty picture, and so this is one of the buildings we definitely want to have strobes to guarantee the quality of our work. When you go inside, you're shooting up a little bit more of an angle, and sometimes you don't get the players' faces, but then if you go inside, they'll be driving more towards you. Might work if we can get it over to the side here. 6.3.
160.
I just think the autofocusing works very well. Generally, I think it's very reliable, very good. I think that's what just about everybody does now. It's being able to capture that moment and knowing the game well enough to put yourself in the position to be able to capture that picture and looking for something that's really memorable and then putting in the effort. It's a lot of work being a sports photographer.
Be concentrating on what's going on in the game and just get a feel for it. And just from this game alone, which might be in the number of 500 images, these are images that the editor in the office might pull out, and what we want to do, give the editors as many options as we can for them to illustrate the story.
I'm somewhere between 500 and 700 images a game on digital. And those aren't my pictures, but those are my folks that I sent, and I credentialed, and I took care of all that stuff. Yeah, that's what photojournalism is. I mean, that's what we do for a living. As Richard Darcy of the Washington Post used to say, you know, it is about that moment. It is about capturing that moment.
The name of this magazine is Sports Illustrated. So that's the mandate. I mean, we are photo-driven. We run more pictures than anybody.
So what happens is we all get all excited about what's going on today, which would be the steroid hearings. Now, when it's all over the newspaper tomorrow, and all over the radio and ESPN and what have you, and by Monday it's died down, then maybe the basketball could come about if there's a big upset or some Cinderella or something else like that. So each day we have a meeting to decide what is going to be the important story of the day, and then by Monday we decide what's the important story for the week. Get your picks in by... Basically the way things work, we're putting out a magazine now, we're putting out a magazine next week, and we're looking ahead to a magazine next month. So we're always doing three things, you know, the current, the next available preview, and then, you know, the future features. So that's where we are. All right. We are going to do very little today and tomorrow, and then we're going to do everything on Sunday and Monday. He was writing about women's basketball, which is good because we have two people at two different sites. So for leading off Jimmy, we have Frakes is in Chapel Hill, and Patrick Murphy Racy is in Tennessee. So you'll have 4 games to choose from on Monday as a women's picture, if you want to.
McGuire takes the 5th. I bet he never makes it to the Hall of Fame. I'll give you a bet right now on that. Just
of this stuff with we talked to Larry Mundy and the imaging department in case we want to do frame grabs off the hearings. So that's all set up, ready to go. Good luck to everybody.
you know what? I'm gonna try that.
What we have to do every week is figure out some way to get the shot that pulls together the content we need with an aesthetic that makes sense for us and something that will be surprising.
I would like to give 2 games per photographer to 1 editor so they can look at what the guy's doing both games. So I'd like to give Beck to George, okay?
And I'll take, out of Cleveland then, I'll take Alabama and Wisconsin, Milwaukee, and I'll take Wake and Chattanooga.
Actually, you know what? Give those 3 games to George and give Delhi to, give Beck to Delhi. How's that?
You might get his others on
Okay, I
on
enjoy
Saturday.
doing Mr. Beck. He's one of the greats.
Same thing as you've been doing for me. Print, you know, rotate them and then make a print out for me.
Absolutely.
The only thing different in your case, if you could, in that place, the printing area, if you could put the game and the X number instead of writing it on there.
Do that. Let me handwrite it.
I'll show you
I'll
how to
write
do
it neat.
I'll show you how
I'll
to
write
do
it neatly.
I'll show you how
I'll
to
do
do
my Palmer method. Best penmanship.
I'll show you how to do it.
You show me.
Marguerite will show you how. George. So here's what's going on for you tomorrow. All of Tucson, or the 3 of the 4 games in Tucson. Okay.
So I'm going to get about, tomorrow when I come in, I should have about 4 games on my hard drive that I will edit digitally. And what I'm looking for, first of all, I'm hoping to get one of the upsets. With Wisconsin, Milwaukee beating Alabama, I'm hoping to get a game like that because that to me is interesting. So this is a really exciting time, I think, for all the editors here who get involved in the NCAA because we can relate. Most of us have been to college. Me, myself, I've played college basketball, so this is really a time of year where, you know, my palms get sweaty and I get used and I get into a mode of wanting to and looking forward to what's going to happen as the tournament, you know, materialize and things move on to the Final Four.
Rugby, prop water football, semi-pro football, women's soccer.
Okay.
And on that,
We'll get
Bobby said, I think you should just go shoot groups of these.
No,
and I said,
no,
Bobby,
no,
because
no.
I'm
They
going to
have
spend
to-
all this money.
They have to be organized and
Exactly.
they have yes.
And Carl's going to then try to write it and it won't match editorially.
I agree.
I just feel like it's unorganized, and I'm not going to go out and spend $100,000 and shoot 10 groups, right?
Well, this story is going to continue until we know ultimately what happened. I think that the people who the FBI have been speaking with will, be coming forward. And I think as more is revealed by trainers, people who sold steroids, people who used steroids, it's going to begin to fit together, and the puzzle is going to become clear. And the other thing is that I think there are a lot of girlfriends out there who we haven't heard from yet. Jaeger's in Washington, right?
Yes.
He's got a good seat. We know about that. We're set up photographically. This stuff is, I think, as we thought, going to be reminiscent of Watergate and all kinds of crazy shit, because of the players involved, and I think it's going to get bigger. So we're perfectly positioned with Gary writing a very big, strong story that will put another top on or something. I talked to him this morning about how we can adjust that. Ideally, we would start with his lead on the cover and play it as some really big, like a moment, assuming I'm very confident we get the piece and how this breaks. What I'm saying is I don't want to necessarily package around this with all this steroid stuff, or that's not the idea for us. Mike, do you have anything? Okay. Great. I listen and I make suggestions, and ultimately whatever we do is rolled in together by a lot of us with a lot of different opinions to the point where we can, actually get the work done. I'm lucky because I get to, flip that final switch and say, okay, we're done.
Not sure what that would be. It doesn't look good. No. It's precarious at best.
We're going to edit, my colleagues and I are going to edit 32 games from the first weekend. That's the Thursday and Friday.
Plus they've got the Wizards going, they've got multiple remotes going, they've got a lot on their mind. We're not a wire service, we're not a newspaper, we are a weekly. We come out we close on Mondays, we come out on Thursdays. We don't have to rush things in. However, it is nice that the Tucson shipment and the Boise shipment made their connections and got here without incident. Overalls and details and
everything they've got to hand out.
Right, that's for you to read.
And today is Friday. If you get them today, could you see if they could have it here by Wednesday?
And photographically, we're going to make pictures from angles and points of view that hopefully haven't been seen. That's the challenge every week here, is to try to find something that you haven't seen 8 times on SportsCenter and all over your local newspaper.
Al Tillmans has been playing with a down-the-line camera all year when he shoots a game for me, just something he wanted to do. And sometimes it yields something. So far, it's yielded a couple of pictures that have almost made it in, but
what we're hoping is that you're going to get a peak moment of an important play with a good expression caught in that way that makes still pictures much more interesting than video, because it'll always be frozen in that moment. So no matter what, when, how, that magazine sitting on your coffee table will always capture that moment when, let's say, Milwaukee beat Alabama on that particular shot.
What did you learn? That your stuff is not here?
No, it's here. They're loading it, and I'm having lunch. Well,
and I'm going to go have lunch now. I'm done with my 3rd of 4 games, so.
You're the man. All right, I will do mine soon.
That sucks. Which one?
No, he's not making.
Oh my God. Oh. 11 seconds. It's not funny.
She says that she has a lot more in her files.
There you go.
Earlier in the year, in February, we took first place in the sports photo category, which is the one that we care about, at the World Press Photo Contest, a picture by Bob Martin of the Paralympics games that we published in leading off. We took the premier prize as far as we're concerned, which is the best use of photography by a magazine We took first place Pictures of the Year contest in Missouri, and then announced last night from the NPPA, National Press Photographers Association, Best of Photojournalism contest, the same category, Best Use of Photography in Magazines. We took first place there too.
Give Terry some credit here. He was thinking the Wires are going to have the chief pool positions right in front. Why should Simon get a second best shot and not get a crack at? Do something completely different, and this way we'll have that to choose from as well. Okay, I'll go with that. So we took a lesser position to maybe make a different kind of picture.
That's a smart gamble.
Yes, yes. Picture editing 102. Give up the cover and the opener in hopes that you can make something different. We want to start shooting some games.
Yeah.
If Cal's playing Stanford, wake us up and we'll send people out, okay? We are trying to be as live on the website these days as we can when we can, and this would be a perfect opportunity to put first round games from Thursday onto the website so we don't have to use wire pictures. That's the rush right now. For website, it's the bottom of the screen show selection.
I'll drop the first 5 I see in there.
Right, okay.
Thank you.
You're not even going to go through me. George is going to do it, Marguerite's going to do it. You'll have 15 pictures in 15 minutes. All right, the first 5 they see that are any good, okay?
You got it.
All right, thanks. The rest of it is getting the steroid package together. The photo illustrator is in imaging. George is taking care of the wire from the hearings yesterday, and we'll have a big show at 3 o'clock and start figuring out the cover and the opener for that 11-page story.
So I'm about to do a screen show on steroids and the hearings, and what I'm doing is creating thumbnails so when I go in the color room I can put the images in order. The sign saying, you know, got steroids. The historical stuff that gives you a sense of how we got to be where we are with this steroid mess. Like Bonds wasn't at the hearing, but he had one heck of a press conference about a month ago when he first reported to spring training, and I can get the looks and the expressions that I want out of that. Whereas Sosa didn't say a whole lot, except he didn't take steroids. But I would be surprised if this picture doesn't run. I mean, it has all the characters there. It has the setting.
Does anybody have any packages or ideas they want to propose here into this? Players, golf, right?
Yes.
Then after golf comes steroids. That's okay.
Okay.
We might flip steroids in NC2A.
Okay.
But if we do that, steroids would be at the end. I just like that against that against that against that. Against
Yeah, the whole scouting report's about smolts, so we might want to do smolts.
We'll get that stuff like
this.
You see the color, but they're not curly. Yeah, they're not as heavy as that.
I changed my mind. I like this now.
Okay. And the heavier one. You got it. Okay. Yeah, last year there was like a
sunburn.
I went to Mexico.
With the life you live.
I want to go find out a place to get married at.
You don't get married at places. It's a place to get married.
I know. We're getting married in Mexico.
Never end a sentence with a preposition, or you don't get.
That's why I'm in the art department, not a writer or an editor.
You know what? You want to know what? No, seriously. You want to know when the pressure is? When there's no news. When we have to make stuff up. That's the hard part. Like the second week in February when there's no football, basketball's in like the dog days, the NBA All-Star break is going on. It's like nothing happening. Okay, the pitchers and catchers haven't even reported. That's why they invented the swimsuit issue. Because that's the pressure of the second week of February to produce something around here. And the hockey's on strike this year, so we didn't even have that to work with. That's the time to go to the Bahamas.
You gotta take that one.
No, I have to go back to Bogut.
That one Bogut.
Yeah. If also we need, if we want to, you don't know what the other games are going to look like.
Right. I wish he'd keep a hairstyle though. I mean, I know his face, but I wish he'd either go bald or change his hairstyle one good. It's better composed.
Yeah, right.
He killed the Spectre.
And then
God, it does work when you talk to them.
Okay.
Now.
Okay, what?
If you don't like that other one,
I'm fine. So we're getting a handle on what we have, and this is all off one day. We have all of last night to do still today, and then all of today and tomorrow to do before Monday comes around. So, again, we're going to have, what did I say, 1,300 selects on Thursday and Friday. Hell, we'll have probably another 700 selects on top of that from Saturday and Sunday. So probably not. Now, these are pictures that all the editors have edited, that Porter's then edited down, that I've then edited down. Okay, then I'm going to go show. All right. So at the end of, by tomorrow noon, I'll probably put together a show based on the winners of the Thursday, Saturday games. I'll probably put together a show of maybe 50 or 60 pictures altogether out of the 2,000 really cool super selects that we've had. So, I mean, one of the wonderful things about working at this place is that we're not editing, 100 pictures down to 10. We're editing thousands of pictures down to 100, and it is a real editing job.
And I'm just finishing up Connecticut against Central Florida. Not much of a game. Connecticut sort of blew them out. That's the last one of this set. He ended up shooting a total of 266. And those will be the games that we'll show first off tomorrow. I mean, we'll go into the color room and say, and the managing editor will say, well, what do we have on Syracuse losing, and what do we have on Kansas losing, and presumably we'll have good photos, and those will be the ones that will lead the story. Here's another one where a guy is about to fall. We may have a theme here. Maybe Jimmy will come up with 3 pictures of guys falling or in the process of falling, and then he might pitch it. If there's a picture you like, then it becomes like your picture, even though you didn't take it, the photographer took it, you're the middleman on this, but you have a vested interest in, gee, I'd like to see that picture make it into the magazine.
The sheer joy of putting the music on, as loud as you want, and flipping through beautiful pictures. I mean, there are pictures here that I am not going to choose that any other newspaper, magazine, or wire service would deem extremely runnable, and I'm not even putting them in the selects. Key thing on Sunday morning is to read the pieces so you can know what the stories are about and match them up with the pictures.
Thank you. Did you do that last night?
There were no stories in yesterday. What I did last night, I went home and I finished reading the steroids, and I read some baseball preview piece. I just keep reading to catch up with as it comes in, I read them, whether they're running this week or not. Gotta know what you're talking about.
And we're going to, where are we headed?
We're going to Terry's office to discuss how to put the NCAA package together within our 8 pages. Pictures.
Is this the week for that?
You've got to see these pictures.
Well, I'm sure the pictures are great.
We have 15 pictures in that leading off thing that are just incredible basketball. Better than last week. Much better than last week.
Well,
so if you want to just do great crash bang action pictures up there and do something a little more poignant over here.
Now, biggest upset is Wisconsin-Milwaukee. That could change, given.
You want to do the whole package on upsets?
Well, it could be upsets or.
You talked to Grant?
I did talk to Grant, yeah. Right now, it's upsets, but also he talked about pressure being a theme too.
Fucking tight. I wonder if you have them all. He hasn't. He didn't call to say, the referee got in my way and all that other stuff. All right. So we kind of like this one as a potential opener.
I do too.
All right. This is a different play, same guy, similar type of. And Jimmy, we put a couple in from this angle just to show you that he was shooting it, even though we're not really in love with it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, we put him in there just to note, just like tagging it for you.
Yeah.
Certainly defense.
I wish the ball weren't in his face.
Yeah, but Mississippi State guy,
You might need that for the story.
I may need that for the story.
Yes,
I guess that's what I was saying.
Ooh,
that's cool.
Yes, Jimmy.
Load up once.
It's ballet.
Yeah. Okay. Whoa.
These are such suckers for these overhands.
No, it's only with eyes. I mean, this one's got a lot of good eyes.
He likes the expression on that bald guy's face.
He also likes the orange.
No,
You can have it.
no, that's all right.
Top.
Yeah.
Do you have Aaron swinging?
This is it.
That's 7:15.
Yes, the last one.
That's Aaron's last home run?
No. That's 7:15.
This is
It's against Al Downing.
I want to put that picture aside so we can go back to it depending on what ideas we have.
And this was after he hit 70 the last day of the season.
I want that picture for sure.
In 5 minutes. Thank you.
Hey guys, thanks.
Or we can do that if you
Well,
feel that's too similar to that. I mean,
That's too similar to that. I'd get rid of that.
This one?
Yeah.
And is it all right if we just take the net out and tighten this up a little?
Yeah, that's fine. But you got to get NC State in here somewhere.
We like pictures. They didn't necessarily advance.
Right.
A team.
and you're cool with this opener and everything. This,
I'm very cool with that.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
This is a good. It's a good compromise here. Yeah.
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 What?
Yeah, but there was a kind of what are we doing now? What is going to be our cover? Okay, like I said, it's Monday morning. It's a whole different atmosphere in here. All right, Porter, you want to knock this down with me? We got. Oh, I got more.
Okay, there's more.
Yo. Hey, Porter. How many you got? How many you got?
Count there right quick. I'll do it.
All right. Yeah, baby. That was my one and only pick for the opener.
Well, I was going home.
The men's basketball, which I think would be.
All right. Now.
No, that should
Yes,
be
I know,
here.
I know, because this would give us 3 Utah pictures in one magazine. All right.
When we started the week,
Yeah.
it was all men all the time, and it was boom, 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 flying bodies. That,
Well, that's good. Yeah.
that's very strong. But he wants to get the women's in here.
How does it look with? How does it look with? Because there's kind of, it's not flying bodies, but it's kind of like big bodies. I mean,
No. That's.
You know we're here? Here's where we so far are.
Yeah, but we're not going to run Texas Tech and UCLA. We're not going to do it, right? Because it's old, dead story.
Texas
right?
Tech's alive. This is Bobby Knight's team.
Yeah,
Texas
I
Tech
know.
is still
But
alive. They're alive. All
it's a
3
UCLA picture.
Well, we got to knock one of them out because we got to get.
I've never seen this picture, and I like it a lot. This is a surprising picture to me. I'd like to do that. What do you think?
I'm okay. I think we're forcing the girls in where we don't necessarily have to. And I think this picture should be in leading off because it's the best picture all week.
That's a great picture.
And I could make a case for moving Milwaukee into the story on that second spread where the Bogut picture is that you're kind of wavering on.
Milwaukee's going to be eliminated on Thursday night.
And Milwaukee is in. Okay.
See,
Is this cool?
I think these 3 are our best basketball pictures of the week.
Yeah, I know you
Hands
do.
down. And they also are the flying bodies. They all work together as a thematic kind of thing.
Mhm.
What would this would mean though is that we would lose the women from the
I know.
men's.
So which of these do you like best?
That one.
And Texas Tech is still in, right?
That is correct.
How about this? Hello Basketball. Do these?
It's better.
Okay, that's a good thing, I guess. Okay, good. Let's do these.
Okay.
And I did Rod Lights the best.
Pause and refresh.
You know the person.
Texas Tech.
Can you run me
And
this?
Duke instead of Utah there. Okay.
Got it.
All right.
Let's do a couple things. Let's get a caption that says "Field of Dreams" photograph by
Stephen Wilson.
Yeah.
It's close in pages. Inside opener.
yeah. You gotta pick a hodge for the inside too.
I just love this.
And there you go. You know. The next, we're fine. Okay? Knock it out.
Yes, that's his 43rd.
And this is Sosa in
In September.
Well, I have to double check. It could be June. I'd have to look.
I mean, it's not like something that we have to get, but if we're going to say McGuire's 43rd, it would be great to say
Sammy and
I
Wrigley.
can tell you which one it is.
These are good pictures. I want to see what
This
else.
is your.
This is good.
Yeah, that's perfect and perfect with the piece right now.
I kind of like the game-winning shot.
That's what I like too, and Grant talks about it a little bit at the end.
Yeah, let's
so,
do this. So this is there. So we want to think about these two then, right?
Yeah, and so
That's what I thought.
we could easily keep that in, and then if we overtake it, we overtake it.
Well, that's where it is.
Let's
But-
do that.
but we want to change this, right?
Utah against Kentucky again.
This is knocking out Oklahoma, which
Yeah.
was a high seed.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll try to beat it. We have the rest of the day. We'll try to beat it.
Okay.
Does anybody feel strongly that we should go with a basketball cover? Good.
All right. Well, here we go. First run copy. That's not bad. Well, I'm concerned. My first reaction is whether or not it looks real, or as Terry was worried about all week, whether or not it looked like an illustration. But I think it looks fine. And I'm glad he left in the sort of the pink streak, to show the sky. I'm glad we lightened, we went with the opened up top so it didn't, see, it looked phony to me on Sunday because we had that dark thing going here. Yeah, type looks okay. All right. 67 pages into the magazine, we finally get to the lead story. Terry wanted it to look like news, even though Gary Smith wrote a piece that matches this picture. But Terry wanted to make sure that people knew that we were covering. In fact, it looks a little tabloid-esque or something that wants to be a 6-deck headline in the New York Times, even. You know what I mean? It has a quality with the topography that is far harder edged than this. So this is more lyrical. This is more lyrical for sure. And this is more like, oh, here we are inside the hearings. Except the story has nothing to do with the hearings, other than the hearings is the framework for why baseball's broken our hearts. I'm a very big sense of place guy. And I'm happy we ran this. I liked the crunch picture. That was the alternative. I have to say that I've seen this picture one other time and we didn't run it. I'm glad we ran it this time. And I've seen that other picture many times, so it would have been more generic. So this is kind of nice. You were wondering last night if there's like a round of applause when we put this out. It's not like having a baby. It's not even like making a cake where like when it's all done you get something to eat. You know what I mean? It's like this is our job. This is what we do. Somewhere along the line yesterday, I went from worrying about this magazine to worrying about the next magazine.